is the arrival of a new life, one's own child. What happens when such a gift comes with congenital issues, diseases, or deformities? It, it turns sweet and sour all in one. However, do you know that most of them are preventable and even curable? Yes. Join us on Conversations this Wednesday, the 26th of April 2023, and learn how to keep our newborns fit and healthy. Congenital diseases is our focus. The time is 9 a.m. Make it a date.
There is a common musical piece flowing from the various cultural displays you have just seen. Did you observe that? It is this member of the wood musical instrument shaped like a thin pipe. Flutes are said to have been found earlier than 4000 BC, as they were made of bones, hooves, horns, reeds, wood, and other natural substances. The word flute comes from the Latin word flutus, meaning breath. It is played by Abdu Guido, Imwai, to mention but a few. Moving down south, a stop at the Opela community gives a glimpse of the Ofe. What you see here is the peak.
not from brass. The main instrument of Judah is the reed. The bush you see here is the reed. And this, without this reed, everything here is useless. Whatever you see here is useless. Because this is the reed gotten from the river side. A special bush, known only to trumpeters. If you go to the water side, a trumpet will go and show you that this is the reed. You will see it and just beat it and throw it away. You will not know it.
They likewise come with dignifying aesthetics. However you choose to blow your flute, remember there will always be a colorful and unifying sound to feel amongst the cultures.
Hello everyone! Proud African Roots presents a fun time for children and teenagers across Nigeria and the globe.
Everything's I don't need a torch, I just need that.
You learned a thing or two from us. Showing every Saturday by 9:30 a.m. on NTA Network. It is going to be a fun time with Grandma Wura and all the Blue Table Talk with Dave and Jeff. Catch you soon!
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Better It Today from the stables of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. My name is Yetunde Jayola. And if perchance this is your first time tuning in, Better It Today is a program designed to motivate and inspire our wonderful
News. National Population Commission dismisses reports indicating server hacked. Plus, stakeholders appeal to Minister of Sports to fast-track rehabilitation of National Stadium. Hello and thank you for joining us on the news at 7 on NT Lagos Channel 10. I am S.C. Owamaka and we begin with where the National Population Commission, NPC, has dismissed reports indicating that its server was hacked, a development responsible for the postponement of the LGA level training of supervisors and enumerators for the 2023 population and housing census. In a statement issued by the Director of Public Affairs, Dr. Isiaka Yahaya, explains that the Commission's attention has been drawn to misleading and false information made by an uninformed staff of the NPC and Controller of Chanchaga LGA in Niger State, Sanusi Maigida, on the hacking of the NPC server. Dr. Isiaka Yahaya described Sanusi Maigida's statement as false and urged general public to disregard the information going on in some section of the online media. The NPC added that it is committed to upholding the highest standards of data protection and maintaining the trust placed on it by the Nigerian population. Evacuation flights continued today with hundreds of people flown out overnight on military aircraft. Foreigners also fled the capital, Khartoum, in a long United Nations convoy, while millions of residents running low on food and water remain trapped inside their homes. Charles Alfa now brings us details.
US, China, Germany, France, and other European special forces have launched a rescue mission for embassy staff and their relatives, sweeping in with Chinook helicopters to fly them to a military base in Djibouti. US forces will remain deployed in Djibouti to protect United States personnel and others until the security situation no longer requires their presence, President Joe Biden said on Sunday in a letter to the Speaker of the House. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said UK forces had also rescued diplomats and their families, while Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his country had temporarily suspended its evacuation operation.
Best thing that we can do to support British nationals and indeed everyone in Sudan is push the generals involved in this conflict to bring it to an end, and that will remain the priority of our diplomatic focus in the region.
Today we're talking about 343 Jordanian citizens who are evacuated from Sudan, in addition to a number of Arab brothers from Palestine, Iraq, Syria, and there are 2 citizens of Germany.
Across the city of 5 million, army and paramilitary troops have fought ferocious street battles since April 15, leaving behind charred tanks, gutted buildings, and looted shops. More than 420 people have been killed and thousands wounded, according to United Nations figures, amid fears of wider turmoil and a humanitarian disaster in one of the world's poorest nations. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
And in criminal matters, 2 suspects have been nabbed by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Lagos International Airport for attempting to export 14.4 kilograms of cocaine to Medina and Jeddah in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Preliminary investigation by NDLEA led to further arrest of a suspect, a managing director of a travel agency who is believed to have recruited one of the suspects to traffic the illicit substance to Jeddah. In the same vein, NDLEA officers attached to courier companies have intercepted 2 drug consignments consisting of ecstasy and skunk going to United Arab Emirates. Meanwhile, about 1.2 tons of skunk was seized in Kaduna State in the week-long operation carried out by the Anti-Narcotics Agency. Other seizures made include methamphetamine, Colorado, tramadol, and loud, among other illicit substances in Bayelsa, Edo, Adamawa, and Ondo states, with suspects arrested for further investigation. Back home, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has ordered the State Building Control Agency to pull down buildings that do not have the permit of the Lagos State government and those that violate waterfront setbacks to forestall the recurring incidents of collapsed buildings across the metropolis. He gave the order after taking an on-the-spot assessment of building constructions at various sites in Banana Island in Ikoyi area of Lagos. Musa Cholet reports.
Seriously? Was ongoing when Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu arrived at Banana Island. 3 adjoining uncompleted buildings, oblivious of their fate, tower above the rubble. The unfortunate incident informed the inspection of other construction sites scattered across Banana Island. However, illegality and flagrant violations of building codes stared the governor in the face, even at sites where the seal of the state government expressed disapprovals.
We love all of you. And you said that we should give you authority, we're giving you all the authority. You bring back to me? No.
More worrisome was the discovery of various sand mining locations where encroachment on waterfronts have remained bold. A visibly concerned Governor Sanwo-Olu vows to clamp down on contractors who cut corners and endanger the lives of residents across the metropolis.
The illegality is real, and so that's why we're going around other properties in Banana. You've all seen the extent of what I would call
unapproved extension into the water. This is a total recklessness of all of the developers, and we will make a strong point out of this place. And of course, our own officers who are also not alive to their responsibility. You know, we've had to change staff here and there, but what we're doing right now is set up a small external committee, a 7-man committee, who we're giving them 2 weeks to independently also ascertain, you know, what has gone on here. And so they should finish their work by maybe towards the end of next week.
The governor says town planning and building control regulations will be strengthened to curb sharp practices in the built subsector across the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And you're still watching the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. It's now time to go on a quick break. More stories ahead. To join us again.
It's Motonic time. Motonic it's no resistance to the last drop till it brings in
Maltonic is enriched with vitamins and minerals for that rush of vitality you need to reach greatness.
It's Maltonic time.
Welcome back. Moving on, traffic congestion has long been a noticeable issue in Lagos. This is caused by the hustling and bustling of Lagos. However, due to the Eid al-Fitr holiday declared by the federal government, a visit to some areas in Lagos shows that the traffic congestion on Lagos roads are not there.
And then you're not there till like 9. It's not going to make sense, is it? Well, it's freer, so it's kind of better. I would prefer if it's like this every day.
Very free, extremely free. I was asking myself, is this still Lagos or another new Lagos? Interesting. I wish it continues like this.
Some of the residents also spoke on the cause of traffic in Lagos.
Indiscipline or undiscipline on the part of the road users, like say vehicle owners, and then the government needs to build more bridges, basically flyovers, and then ensure that the traffic rules are strictly kept to.
I think generally everybody in Lagos is chaotic. So usually traffic is usually caused when two people are having a conflict or when the trailer falls off.
Work is expected to resume tomorrow after the Eid al-Fitr holidays. Up next is entertainment news with Olayoye Taiwo.
It is the first wedding anniversary of award-winning gospel singer Tim Godfrey and his beautiful wife Erica Katrina. In a joint Instagram post, the couple shared photos from their lavish wedding ceremony as it reflected on the past year. The couple described their first year in marriage as the best years of their life. Also, Nollywood stars have thanked the page of actress Stella Damasos to lavish her with sweet words as she marks her birthday. The mother of two, who isn't aging at all, shared amazing photos of herself to celebrate her new age. The celebrant expressed gratitude to her creator for life as she turns 45. Moving on, for the first time in over a year, Davido took to the storied stage of Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos, Nigeria, to deliver what he promised to be a timeless experience. The highly anticipated album has broken multiple first-week streaming records in Nigeria and on the continent as Davido continues to show why he's the first among equals. In Lagos, Taiwo Olayoye, NTA News.
Away from entertainment now, following the collapse of one of the floodlights mast of the National Stadium in Lagos last week, which led to the temporary closure of the 51-year-old sports complex by the Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare. Stakeholders have appealed to the minister to reconsider his decision due to numbers of athletes using the facility to prepare for the national and international championships. Correspondent visited the National Stadium and files his report. NTA Sports gathered that this floodlight in the over 50 years National Stadium under rehabilitation recently collapsed owing to heavy rain accompanied by heavy storm, but no fatality was recorded. As a result of this, Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, paid an inspection visit to the National Stadium and the area where the floodlights collapsed, as well as other areas undergoing rehabilitation. At the end of the inspection, Minister added the immediate temporary closure of the stadium and the condening of the main bow area where the floodlights are located. NTA Sports visited the National Stadium to ascertain the level of compliance of the order. Athletes were seen carrying out their training under the bridge opposite the stadium, while others were at the entrance. This move has generated different controversies on the step taken by the Minister of Sports.
The fact that they lock it, I like it, because it's for safety conscious. We don't know which of these floodlights or whatever is going to fall again. But for how long will they lock this place? That is what we want to know. Well, it's responsive now because people have actually complied. The reason why I believe he did that was because of the falling of one of the floodlights.
He also advised the Minister of Sports in his decision to allow some activities to take place in some parts of the environment while working on the floodlight mast.
Stadium lights service every 60 years. 50 years ago, this stadium was doing this light. Why did it fall down? But thank God the country today never take a life of my being. People depend on here. Many people died since here because of what happened here before. And now they're repeating again. Closure of the stadium is not good. At least avoid the place that is not bad. Other places are dead for people to use.
This is the second time that the National Stadium Surulere Lagos will be closed in recent times. First one was during the COVID-19 pandemic that affected all strata of human endeavors, including sports. Meanwhile, the reported concession process towards fully privatizing the Surulere Stadium, which began last year, will be expedited by the federal government through the ICRC towards a comprehensive rehabilitation and upgrade of a 51-year-old edifice. In Lagos, S.A. Awamaka, NTA Sports. Coach Nduka Ngbade fancies CAF Under-17 trophy for Golden Eaglets in Algeria. Details of this and more with Clement Olorotoba and Sports Update.
National team, the Golden Eaglet, Nduka Ngbade, says the team is mentally and tactically prepared to bring honors to Nigeria as the Eaglets set to begin their campaign in this year's CAF Under-17 Cup of Nations in Nigeria.
Hopefully, with all faith and all technicalities and critical discipline in place with our mental strength and capacity to do the incredible things that we've done before, we might again do great things. This is what I believe.
The team, which is already in Nigeria, is poised to overcome their Group B opponents, Morocco, South Africa, and Zambia, as they set their eyes on the Continental Trophy. Meanwhile, Rivers United's hope of qualifying for the semi-finals of the CAF Confederation Cup now hangs by a tiny thread after they were beaten 2-0 at home by Young Africans of Tanzania in their quarter-final first leg on Sunday. Democratic Republic of Congo forward Fiston Mayele scored a brace in Uyo as the Nigerian champions now have a huge mountain to climb in the second leg in Dar es Salaam next Sunday.
We lost some of our key players in today's game. If we have enough rest and we have all our preparations in top gear, we will be able to go there and also surprise them.
And finally, Iga Swiatek and Carlos Alcaraz won a straight set to retain their titles in Stuttgart and Barcelona. Polish world number 1 Iga Swiatek beat world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus 6-3, 6-4 in a repeat of last year's final. In Spain, Alcaraz breezed past Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece 6-3, 6-4 to win the tournament without dropping a set. It was the third title of the season for the 19-year-old Spaniard, following wins in Argentina and Indian Wells. It was the first time a women's world number 1 had faced the number 2 on clay since Serena Williams beat Maria Sharapova in the 2013 French Open final. With sport updates, Clement Olorotoba, NT News.
Now check out our weather forecast for tomorrow across Lagos Metropolis. And And that ends the English version of the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Many thanks for your time. I am S.A. Owamaka. Benga Oluyede is standing by for the news translation in Yoruba. Good evening.
Ẹ kú àṣálẹ́, ẹ sì kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn ló ń dé sétí ìgbọ̀yìn láti iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Gbẹ̀ngàn Olóyèdè ni oníròyìn, ìròyìn rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Àwọn àjọ elétò ìkànìyàn àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti yọ kúrò àwọn ìròyìn tó fi hàn wípé olùpín ohun èlò àwọn ni wọ́n ti gé pa ìdàgbàsókè tó ṣokùnfà ìsúnsíwájú ti ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tàwọn alábòójútó ní ti ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ àti ti olùyẹ̀wò ti ètò ìkànìyàn tójúlé nínú àkọsílẹ̀ ìwé tí wọ́n gbé jáde láti ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gá olùdarí tálùkòrò àwọn àjọ ọ̀hún Dr. Isiaka Yahaya ṣàlàyé wípé wọ́n ti pe àkíyèsí àjọ wọn sí àwọn ìwà ìṣinilọ́nà àti ayédèrú ìròyìn tó jáde láti ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀kan nínú òṣìṣẹ́ NPC àti ti olùṣàkóso ní ti ẹkùn Chachanga tó wà ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ti ìlú Niger Sanusi Megida lórí ti gépa olùpín ohun èlò ti àjọ elétò ìkànìyàn. Dr. Isiaka Yahaya ṣe àpèjúwe àkọsílẹ̀ náà bí ọ̀kan òfútùfẹ́ẹ̀tẹ̀ rọ àwọn ènìyàn ìlú lápapọ̀ láti kọ ìhà àìbìkítà sí àgbéjáde ìròyìn náà tó ń káàkiri àwọn ẹkùn kan ní orí ẹ̀rọ agbọ́rọ̀káyé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn àjọ elétò ìkànìyàn sọ wípé àjọ àwọn dúró nínú ìwà ìdáàbòbò ohun èlò olùpín wọn láti tẹ́ àwọn ará ìlú lọ́rùn lórí ètò ìkànìyàn ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ṣíṣílọ àwọn ọkọ̀ òfurufú ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ojúmọ́ òní tí ń ṣe ọjọ́ ajé Monday pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ yanturu àwọn ènìyàn tí wọ́n ń fò lókè lẹ́lẹ́ jáde ní ọ̀gànjọ́ òru nínú ọkọ̀ òfurufú tàwọn àwọn ọmọ ogun òfurufú. Àwọn àlejò bákan náà ni wọ́n sá jáde láti inú olú ìlú Khartoum ti United Nations. Bákan náà ni ènìyàn tí wọ́n tó ní mílíọ̀nù olùgbé olú ìlú náà ni wọ́n ti ní ìjákulẹ̀ àìní ìpèsè oúnjẹ tó tó àti omi ni wọ́n wà nínú ilé wọn. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babájídé Sanwó-Olú ti pàṣẹ fún àwọn àjọ tó mójútó ètò ìlànà ilé kíkọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti wó lulẹ̀ àwọn ilé tí wọn kò ní ìwé àṣẹ láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìṣèjọba Èkó àti àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ ojú àṣẹ àgbékalẹ̀ ilé sí ojú omi, èyí tó ń fa ìfàsẹ́yìn bá ìlànà ilé kíkọ́ tó ń fa ewu jàǹbá ilé wíwó káàkiri agbègbè ìlú Èkó. Gómìnà Babájídé Sanwó-Olú náwó àṣẹ wàá ọ̀hún lẹ́yìn tó ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí àwọn ọlọ́kan-ò-jọ̀kan àgbékalẹ̀ ilé tí wọ́n wà ní Banana Island tó wà ní agbègbè Ìkòyí tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Gbogbo àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ tó ń sopọ̀ mọ́ súnkẹrẹ òǹfàkẹrẹ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ló jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú èyí tó ṣẹ̀ wá nípasẹ̀ ìṣòwò ọjà lọ́tùn lósì kájẹbùbàjẹ́ káàkiri ìgboro Èkó, pàtàkì jùlọ ààyè ìsinmi ọdún Ìdí-Fítírì tí ìṣèjọba àpapọ̀ fọwọ́ sí. Bí ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ìdílálejò sí àwọn agbègbè kan ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó fi hàn wípé gbogbo àwọn súnkẹrẹ-fàkẹrẹ tó máa ń ṣẹ̀wá ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ló parẹ́ bí ewé mọ́ínmọ́ín káàkiri àwọn pópónà márosẹ̀ ìgboro Èkó. Àwọn ènìyàn ìlú Èkó lo àsìkò yìí sọ méní méjì àwọn ohun tó ń ṣokùnfà súnkẹrẹ òǹfàkẹrẹ káàkiri agbègbè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ní gbogbo ọjọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìlànà ètò pípadà sẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n retí wípé yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́la òde òní tí ń ṣe ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday lẹ́yìn pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìnṣìn ayẹyẹ ọdún Ìdí-Fítírì. Tọ́ àsùnjì ló ń ta ṣálẹ̀ ìní Gbẹ̀ngàn Olóyèdè ń kí yín ire o.
Open your phone tank.
Hold on, please. Let me calm down.
Good evening, sir.
Evening. Hope you brought up your meter.
Oh, Oga, we no longer tamper with our fuel dispense meter because it is cheating and corruption. I will always sell fuel to all customers at the correct amount because change begins with me.
Nice one.
Yes, sir. How much, Oga?
Kilo.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
My name is Nkem Okibe, and you're welcome to this week's edition of Health Watch.
Those drugs are prescription only, and they are only to be dispensed by a pharmacist. So we know how they work, and we can save you from using it inappropriately.
But at least, if you have a cervix, you have a huge chance of never having cervical cancer.
Lack of drug compliance, proper drug compliance. Probably the patient did not take it the way you have to take it.
Glaucoma is the second most common cause of blindness worldwide. And glaucoma blindness is irreversible.
Before a dental surgeon practices anything, the ethics says a patient must go through a dental therapist.
Find out on this week's episode of Health Watch.
The children are our future, so it's crucial we communicate with them on Family Talk with Lamide. Join us on Family Talk with Lamide as motivational TV personality. Lamide Adenuga delivers leadership and human capacity development content to our future leaders within and outside Nigeria. We also tackle social ills like bullying, drug abuse, peer pressure, depression, internet fraud, and many more. Family Talk with Lamide. It's all about us. Now showing on
Family Talk with Lamide. Family Talk with Lamide.
the children are our future, so it's crucial we communicate with them on Family Talk with Lamide. Join us on Family Talk with Lamide as motivational TV personality. Lamide Adenuga delivers leadership and human capacity development content to our future leaders within and outside Nigeria. We also tackle social ills like bullying, drug abuse, peer pressure, depression, internet fraud, and many more. Family Talk with Lamide. It's all about us. Now showing on
Family Talk with Lamide. Family Talk with Lamide.
Chief. Good morning, sir. You are here already?
No, now my spirit there, my body there for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me job questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, We must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now?
Later.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
You want the best in music, info, and entertainment. NCA 10. NCA 10. Channel, important documentary. NCA 10. NCA 10. Our movies, cartoon, and live talk show. But choice and go for nothing less. Station for excellence. NCA 10 station for excellence.
NCA 10 station for excellence.
time, but they still have a cake to cut for their birthday.
Geometric pattern cake. And I've seen the design. It looks like it comes with a lot of pattern, a lot of details. What inspired you to make this type of cake? And on what occasion do people order for this type of cake?
Actually, the cake has a lot of details, and I'm someone who likes to make cakes that have lots of details in them because it will actually bring out the creativity in you. The cake can be used to celebrate an Eid occasion.